small boats, small countries, you know, like Seychelles. We have only X amount of people, X amount of time, X amount of resources. It needs to be there needs to be a strategic national vision saying this is what we want for this, and this is how we're going to get it. And we're not just going to make enemies of the EU, they're going to be part of this.
Yeah.
We're going to make friends with maybe NGOs in other countries that would actually put, you know, pressure on the European Parliament. We're going to really work with other governments in the region to come up with a fair deal. And I think these are the leadership questions that we need to bring forward to, you know, whether it's SFA, whether it's the Blue Economy and Fisheries Department. You know, these are the things that we were like, well, what is the vision for fisheries in the next 10 years? How are you working with our regional partners? How are we basically ensuring that, you know, we're following the science? Because right now we're not following the science. And right now, I think if you ask most people that attend these conferences, especially the observers who are NGOs, they're very frustrated because, you know, what is being asked of certain countries and what's being followed is kind of undermined by other countries that are, you know, allowing these things to happen. And you can see recently, you know, with the quotas that was put on, Seychelles was easily able to argue and say, no, we're not agreeing with this. So when we want to make noise, we can make noise. Yeah. And we have to ask ourselves, is that for the benefit of the EU, or is it the benefit of Seychelles and others like it?
And is it financially motivated or is it environmentally motivated?
Exactly. I mean, good finance these days has to have good environment. It's crazy to me, right? It's like you want to have these fish for the next 10 years or 100 years, right? And it's always funny, specifically the plastic pollution. They dump in all this stuff, and in the years to come, it's not just killing the fish, but it's the same stuff that will get caught up in your nets, get caught up in your propellers. And you're thinking, okay, this doesn't make sense as a business, as a model for actual profit, because you're killing your main source of revenue, or your only source of revenue.
It seems like there's no thought for that future.
It's a race.
Yeah.
Tragedy of the commons. And I don't think, and that's where government's meant to come in, and other governments, and, you know, we have the international organizations. I mean, in our region, there's the Commission for the Indian Ocean, and it's COE. They're meant to be playing more of a role, I think. And again, that's governments sitting around together. And we talk about deep sea bed mining or oil spills. You know, there's trans-boundary issues that one government alone cannot do it. Several governments, several NGOs, several companies, partners need to really agree and follow up. And for me, you know, after the fellowship I'm taking, my main focus is a master's on maritime security. And I see maritime security for Seychelles as pinnacle. Because not just for the geopolitics, but if we want to talk about fisheries, or if we want to talk about drugs, if we talk about environmental protection, we need to survey what's out there and use the very limited resources to go and fix those problems, whether it's on Astove or Assumption, whether it's at Day Wash or middle of the ocean or in the joint maritime area. We'll need to be able to survey this and then be able to send out some form of intervention, some form of enforcement.